Doing all kinds of illegal
All
activities. You
kind
know
of
the
stuff.
program?
Right.
I don't
Good.
know. I'm not a comedian, but I do find it to be. I won't even say funny. I just find it to be interesting
Okay.
and like depressingly ironic.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start the show, and hopefully the
Man,
guests
I just this microphone thing is just eating at me. Like
just eating, right? That's all
because I can
right.
see myself in the stream. I can see
Right.
myself in the stream, but
Ah.
I don't. Is there a way that you can route sound from your phone to the thing in real
Actually,
time? Because then you could get the video from the stream, you can get the audio from your phone. That's the only other idea. Because I do see myself in the stream right now.
do you, okay. Okay. He said you're good, that we can hear. So he says we're good.
You can hear.
Yeah, he said we're good.
Just put the microphone really close to your phone.
Yep, I am.
Okay, we
So
can do it. So you can see me on your stream right now.
no, but I'm gonna keep it
Does
rolling.
it say join stream? You want me to click that?
Yes, yes,
All right,
yes.
I'm about to join right now. Okay.
There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Artist Showcase. I am your host, Tanya Michelle. And yeah, we had some technical stuff going on, but that's okay. We are here. I am so excited. Let me tell y'all something. I saw this young man about a year ago. Yeah, it's been about a year at the Cranbrook Christ Church out in Bloomfield Hills, and have never heard of him before, right? And they said, is Deshaun with the Urban Art Orchestra, and I'm like, okay, this is something. So I googled them, right? I think it was on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my god, this is different. And so my cousin and I went to go check him out, and let me tell you, I was blown away. But before I saw his performance, I did a short interview with him, to put out there just a little bit, just to, test the waters, with WJZZ and doing virtual stuff. And I loved it. And I finally, after like so many months, right, we finally got together. And here he is, D. Sean Jones. Am I saying that? And I'm pronouncing your name correctly? Yeah. Awesome, 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 awesome. Man, this has been, like I said, I've been trying to get you for a very long time, and I'm so glad to have you. Um, you are the conductor for the Urban Art Orchestra in Detroit, and the United Art Orchestra. I'm sorry, the Urban Art Orchestra brings fire, passion, and high energy experience on every stage, right? The Urban Orchestra, it has conducted three Grammy nominated composer, Deshaun, and features in Detroit finest talent from live strings, harps, horns, rhythm, dance, and visual artists. Notable collaborations include the likes of Big Sean, T Pain, Slum Village, the late and great Amp Fiddler, Mad Mike Banks of Ur and Kresge Foundation, DSO, and the Ford Motor Company. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome to the Artist Showcase. So tell everyone, I gave everybody just a little bit about the Urban Art Orchestra, but you've been at it for a long time, and we were just talking that you just had this has been like 3 years, and almost 3 years you've been with the Oregon Art Orchestra.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been the orchestra has been about 3 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
We had our debut at Cliff Bell's April 30th, 2022.
Okay.
I've been working with strings for about maybe, honestly, for a solid 2 years leading up to that point. Just experimenting and trying to see how can I fuse, orchestration for strings with jazz and with gospel. So did gospel records and R&B, just anything I could kind of get my hands on and experiment with this idea of infusing strings with like modern Black music, because there's this, it ain't nothing new. Like Quincy Jones already did it. Rick James did it. Who else do I love listening to? Curtis Mayfield. Like,
oh yeah,
all these great artists, and who else? Man, there's so many.
Like it's so many, right?
Charles Stepney. You know what I'm saying? Earth, Wind and Fire. He's out of Chicago. He wrote all that music for them. I'm a huge student of his body of work. I just started exploring different ways to kind of fuse classical music with Black music, our music.
Right.
And then nobody celebrates our music.
Right.
Nobody celebrates our music the way that it should be celebrated, which is in the context of American classical music. This is our music. This is our classical music. I think it gets discredited in a lot of ways because it's got a beat to it and it's got a bounce.
Right.
It's got a vibe and it's a hit record.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it gets dismissed because of the pop culture or the cultural popularity of the music. But that's all the more reason why it should be celebrated.
Right.
Barry White should be celebrated.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Slum Village and Jay Dilla, who, birthday, shout out to Jay Dilla.
Yes.
Should be celebrated. Amp Fiddler should be celebrated. Mad Mike Banks, Underground Resistance, Techno should be celebrated. And so on and so on and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah.
The Clark sisters. We got so much history, in this music and so much impact throughout the world. And I feel like it's hard to find an ensemble that not only can play the music, but will also do the music justice. Like, you don't know what them records mean if you ain't been invited to the barbecue. You don't know.
Right.
Like, you don't. So
that is so true. That is so true.
There's a lot of coded sort of messaging in the records we choose to play in UAO that celebrates our culture as Americans, as African Americans, as Black people, as people of color. But it's not about color so much as it's about culture and representation in spaces that typically do not acknowledge said culture.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
When we started out in a jazz club.
Okay.
A tiny jazz club. I love Cliff Bells. That's my home away from home. But is that the space where you would imagine you would see an orchestra?
Absolutely not.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's a grassroots, sort of movement that has grown and had to not necessarily fight and claw to be in certain spaces, but we've definitely had to work extremely hard to validate our reasoning and purposing for being invited into certain spaces. And I'm so grateful for all the opportunities we've had because over the last 2 years, we've collaborated with Slum Village. We've collaborated with, we did the last 2 concerts with Amp Fiddler, Rest his soul, my mentor. He blessed us. He's the one that blessed the orchestra.
Yes.
The very first concert we did, he was there and he was a part of that. And we turned that into 5 LPs, 2 of which Urban Art Orchestra Volume 1 and 2 are already released and they're distributed physically all over the world. You can find it in Europe. You can find it in Japan. Obviously, you can find it here in Detroit. You can pick it up at Submerge. They distribute that record. We've sold them at Spotlight. Usually when we throw concerts at Spotlight, like, think about this. Spotlight is a club on the east side of Detroit.
Yes.
Where can you find an orchestra? And I'm not talking about going to Grosse Pointe and doing a concert. I'm saying in Detroit. This is important. I'm appreciative for any space that's willing to support our efforts as an organization. But I think it's important to make art music accessible to the city that it's housed in.
Right.
Which means that you shouldn't have to be forced to visit some ivory tower downtown or go all the way out to the suburbs. Like, bring the music to the people.
Right.
And see what happens. And we've been very successful in the space of bringing the music to the people.
Yeah.
And meeting the people where they're at.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it special too, is we'll pull up.
Yeah. Because you've been at the DIA. I remember you were recently at the DIA. You know, they're starting to, and they're starting to get on the bandwagon. You see churches now are getting on the bandwagon too, such as, you know, Cranbrook Christ Church. You know, they're known for getting, you know, artists and things all over.
Shout out to Kisma and Dr. Brandon Waddles. They're doing a phenomenal job programming over there. That's how I got that invitation. So, you know, I really appreciate the work that they're doing and the exposure that they're offering to really strong artists in the community, but also exposing the community on the other side to what they have in their own backyard. I think we have the best artists in the world.
Yes.
I really believe that. Pick your discipline.
Talent.
You know, from muralists to sculptors. You know, we have the best visual artists. We have the best singers. We have the best musicians. We got the best drummers. We have the coolest producers in the world. Shout out to Jay Shear. That's a producer's producer right there. All he does is make hit record.
Right.
You know? So it's a lot that we have housed right here at home. And with all this talent, you would have thought that they would have went to New York or LA or a different market, but they chose not to leave. They chose to stay here. Yeah. So I think it is incumbent upon the city and the neighboring areas, the surrounding areas, to really rally behind and support these artists.
For sure.
They are the gems,
right?
You know what I'm saying, of the community. And I think that's one of the things that Urban Art Orchestra really does well at, is we bring a lot of those musicians and artists together.
For sure.
So we have fostered a community of convergent talent that would otherwise be alienated one from another because they're just so far removed. Like, I don't know anything about the muralist community. I don't know until I start working with Chief McFly, India Solomon, and, you know, artists of that caliber. And I'm like, it's like there's a whole scene of these guys. And then, you know, I wasn't exposed to the visual arts in terms of like sculptors until I started collaborating with J.R. Stroger, who is our resident artist and has done all of our album artwork and builds sculptures in real time. And, you know, he's steeped in realism. Okay. So he could paint a portrait of you right now while we're talking. And by the time we finish this conversation, it'll be done. Finished.
And you know what? And you know what? Speaking of that, now I got a signed autograph. You guys can see this. I got a signed autograph copy from Deshaun. Thank you so much.
That is so special.
And yes, I still have it. And yeah, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's absolutely. This is just real. You can tell. I know that this is the the fist on the statue that's downtown. On off the water. And then there's a mic there, and I'm not sure what this building is. I want. It looks like where WJLB used to be housed in. Yeah. You know, awesome.
The artwork is supposed to be a conversation between Detroiters to the rest of the world. So each volume, it highlights a very specific landmark in the city of Detroit that only we would really know. And be like, oh yeah, that's this or that's that. So, you know, the first volume 1 was the Spirit of Detroit. Okay. But it was Spirit of Detroit with a violin. And what ended up happening is that became the official logo for Urban Art Orchestra, because I'm like, that is literally the full embodiment of what we're trying to accomplish here. We want to celebrate the spirit of Detroit, and our medium is through art and music.
Absolutely. Right?
So it just, that was sort of an extemporaneous thought that came to mind between JR and myself, and he brought that to vision, and he did an amazing job. Volume 1 is the hardest Urban Art Orchestra vinyl to get because every time I repress it, and we've gone through 4 represses, it sells out.
Really? So and see, I don't even have it.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think we will do one more repress of Volume 1. Okay. And that way people can start adding that to their collection. But we have 5 volumes that are coming out. So 2 have already been released, and we've got 3 more that are going to come out this year. And it's supposed to tell a story. Yeah. Sonically, it tells a story. Musically, if you listen from Volume 1 to Volume 2, you can see how it's kind of a continuous sort of dialogue musically. Okay. We feature different artists. Obviously, we end Volume 5 with that Fiddler.
Oh, wow. That's going to be amazing. Oh, that's going to be amazing.
That's how the story ends.
Wow.
For Urban Art Orchestra. So it's a beautiful tribute and a beautiful celebration of the city of Detroit with some of Detroit's finest artists. Yeah. And I'm honored to have had the opportunity to put that project together. It is a very extensive and expensive effort, but it's so worthwhile. And the amount of support that we've garnered over these last 3 years has been unreal.
Amazing. Amazing.
I didn't plan on none of this.
Amazing. Nothing but God, right? Nothing but God. Amen. If you're now just tuning in, you are here with me, Tanya Michelle, and this is Dre Sean of the Urban Art Orchestra. You're listening to, you're on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure that you click the like button, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you for tuning in to WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. My guest tonight is 3-time Grammy composer, Deshaun Jones. We just got finished talking about his albums that's going to be coming out of vinyls, and I was just showing this beautiful artwork here. And my very own signed, I don't know if you can see that, but very own signed autograph by Deshaun. I'm so excited. And so you said there's going to be we were just saying there's going to be a total of 5, ending with Fiddler. Yeah. Yes. And I cannot wait. I can't wait. That's going to be, but I got to get Volume 1 though.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm because of you, I'm going to do a repress of Volume 1, and I'm gonna make sure that I get you an Urban Art Orchestra hoodie because you need that in your life.
Thank you. I love hoodies. Thank you so much. I don't know what
size you wear medium or
medium.
You let me. All right, cool. I got one. I'm gonna get it in the mail for you.
Thank you.
Make sure that you wear that and let people know that you're part of the orchestra.
Yes. Yes, and I'll gladly wear it. When you get the orchestra together, I saw the number of people. First of all, you play instruments too. I saw you on the piano. Was it the sax? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I might have saw you on something else, but you play instruments too, and you were playing, along the band too, other than conducting. So now how do you decide who's going to play in your orchestra? How do you go about doing that?
Well, I'm a musician first. Mm-hmm. Before all the orchestra, I'm a saxophonist. And what's crazy is at this stage of my career, there are people that don't know that I play saxophone.
Really?
And I made a career out of playing sax for 20 years.
Wow.
So okay. But in the capacity of being composer, conductor, it does take me away from the performative aspect of the music and more in the space of curation, more in the space of leading and making sure that we're navigating this music together, because sometimes it's 20 of us. Sometimes it's 40 of us. I think the most we had at one time was maybe 70 or 80 when we did the grand opening for Michigan Central Station.
Oh yes, that was an amazing performance.
Hot. Down. That was so much fun. Yes. That was a lot of fun. But somebody's got to tell everybody where to go. So I'm looking for a few things. In the strings, you have to be able to read, and you got to be able to play in tune. You got to be able to read, and you have to be able to play in tune, because 440 man. You go into the 440, you hurt my feelings. My heart. Horns. You need to be able to know your instrument. You got to have good ears. You got to be able to adapt. Honestly, be able to hear your own harmonies, because we're street musicians. Street musicians, somebody that just learn how to play in clubs and in the church. Maybe got some formal training. Like, I'm a street musician through and through. But I got formal training, so I'm probably like a hybrid musician. I can talk scores, and I can talk music theory, or I can just give you numbers, or I can talk colors, or I can give you the fingerings, and whatever you need for me to give you your part, I can do that. So in terms of like music, it's like being bilingual, except I know like 5 different languages in music. And then if all else fails, I can play it for you. I can play the chord on the piano. I can play the line on saxophone or flute or whatever the thing is, and just retain the information, because we're moving so fast. We don't have time. You know, we're a community effort. We're not like a formal entity where it's like, okay, we have a 52-week schedule. We have 3 rehearsals a week. We have 37 performances. Like, it's not like that. It's like we get called for an opportunity. We probably have 1 day to prepare the music, and then the day of to do the show. When we worked with Big Sean, we had basically 48 hours to put that whole production together. From writing the scores to rehearsing the music to cut with production.
So it's quick.
Listen, it's rapid fire. This is shotgun wedding if there ever was one. We are the shotgun wedding of music. People think that we have all these rehearsals. We don't rehearse. Urban Orchestra does not rehearse. Let me just make that. It's too many. It's too many people. And all these musicians are professional musicians, and they're freelance, so they got schedules. They got other gigs, or they're out of town. And so, and I try to work with the quote-unquote best musicians in the city. So you already know they all in high demand. My violinists, high demand. Harpists, I'm lucky if they're in town, because they're in Australia doing the thing, or they're shooting a documentary in Berlin, or they're in New York for Fashion Week. I don't know. But it's like, okay, all right, well, that person's unavailable. All right, so now what I have? My drummers, they could be on tour. It's like all of these musicians are really, in my opinion, the best at what they do. And they live in Detroit. So I think that's what makes it easier for me to kind of navigate it. And I just feel like just have a good spirit. You know what I'm saying? Have a zeal for excellence and for execution and a heart for the people. And understand that, like, as much of a privilege as it is to present and show your artistry, we're actually community servants. And we are here to serve the people and give people something of tangibility with our music. But it's a spiritual thing. Not to get all existential about it, but there are healing properties that come with the music.
Oh, for sure.
People be out here going through it, man. And so you want your music to be impactful. You want it to be inspirational. There's a lot of young people that come to our concerts. And hopefully when they hear the music and they experience the vibration of the energy in the room, it will inspire them to maybe pursue their own dreams or do music or whatever the thing is. You know, so we want to be impactful. We want to be inspirational. And we don't want to be temporary either. We want to make sure that we leave a lasting legacy, you know, with everything that we do. So I think you do have to have that sort of mindset in order to participate with UAR. You know, Urban Orchestra is not a trend. You know, it's very much a culture of people who take pride in their city, take pride in being a Detroiter, take pride in their art, and understand the weight of responsibility that comes with all those things.
Yeah. What do you like most? You say you're a musician first, but what do you like most? Being a musician, composer. What do you like to do best?
Oh, my personal go-to is hearing the perfect sound, whatever that is. And the perfect sound is usually coupled with the perfect moment.
Okay.
So it could happen from here. It could happen from play. It could happen from the full ensemble. I love when the full ensemble plays together and as one.
Okay.
When that happens, oh man.
He says over.
It's over.
Yeah.
And so in music, Mike Banks and Marcus Belgrave, my mentors, they call it the God moment. I'm in search of the God moment. I'm trying, like, I need the Holy Ghost, like something. Right. I need to be elevated and transported to a different time and space through this music. So there's no one way to achieve that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there's strength in numbers. And the more people you get playing together, and not just playing the same thing, but being of the same mindset, right?
You're right.
And having the same intentionality and the understanding of like the impact of precision. Like, why should we cut off together? Right. What is the importance of silence and space? What's the importance of dynamics? And like, once you get a group that understands that,
yeah.
So you do look at like a Leopold, who's a great legendary conductor, conducted for Philadelphia for many years. And like, if you ever look in like Looney Tunes, anytime Bugs Bunny was a conductor, he was emulating Leopold.
Right.
But
okay.
If you study Leopold, his whole thing was like, okay, it's 75 of y'all up here, but it has to be precise. And the subtleties and the nuance of like how the music is interpreted, I think, is what anybody who really loves music, it's the attention to detail, essentially. They're looking for that. They're looking for that. Just a little bit, okay, perfect. Once again, once that moment happens, it never happens again.
Wow.
It comes and it goes. And that's what makes it a God moment.
Yeah.
You can't keep it. You can only experience it for a moment and be like, man, that's great. So that's what happens when art makes you cry.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
It hits you. And so I think I'm in pursuit of that.
Okay.
You know, if I don't know if I'm articulating the thoughts so clearly, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah. You're doing great. You're just amazing. You're just amazing. When did you start playing instrument? When you got into, was it always like when you were little growing up, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to be a musician. I mean, when did that bug hit you? When did it bite you? And it's like, this is what I want to do.
So when I was little, I used to ask my mom if I could get piano lessons. And I don't think she thought I was serious about it because I was really little. But I used to like have this experience when I was little, like I would hear sounds and I'd be like seeing this wash of colors. So like we'd be in church and like it would be like yellow everywhere. Like yellow is the sun. Or it would change and then it'd be red, like Kool-Aid red. I mean, just as bright as you can see, right?
Right.
And I'd be like, Mom, red, Mom, yo, I'm pulling. She's like, she was and trying to like get me to stop, you know, pulling on her leg while I'm like, Mom, like, do you see this?
All right.
So what I found out as I got older is that I have this thing called synesthesia, which basically is a memory sensory displacement. So because I hear sounds, I remember colors.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like I see sound. I see all the time. And it's funny because I annoy my kids with it. They're like, you know, I was like with my son, I was like, you know, that's an A flat, you know, that's a C. You know, like the chair squeaked, I was like, yeah, you know, that's an F sharp. And he's like, Dad, you know, this is a really unique form of torture. And I was like, he's should be hired by the feds when they need to interrogate.
Okay.
This is what he said. I was like, dang, way to like shut me down. So that's what kids do. They no matter how great you think you are, no matter how sweet you think you are, they have this. They just cut.
Right.
But anyway, I started playing officially when I was about 12, going on 13. It was a casual bet. I mean, my parents, they had me doing sports and, football and stuff like that. So I just figured that's what I was going to do and, like, going to regular school.
Mm-hmm.
When they asked me what I want to be when I grow up, I was like, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a cop. I want to just, little kid stuff,
Yeah.
Never thought about being a musician, nor did I know that was a profession. So
okay.
I was listening to a record of Miles Davis playing Ayrton, Chet Baker, and Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie, because I was on punishment, and I was only allowed to listen to music. So I always liked good music, though.
Yeah.
I always gravitated towards it, but I didn't know why. I just like what I like. Anyway, I almost looked up and said something. But anyway, my dad walked past. He's like, "What are you listening to?" I said something like something easy. He's like, "What you mean?" He's like, "I could do that." And it's Charlie Parker playing, like they're going crazy. It's bebop.
Right.
And you got this 12-year-old kid talking about it's easy. And it's nothing. So he was like, all right, I got a bet for you. If you think it's easy, when your birthday comes around, I'll get you any instrument of your choosing. If you can play it in 6 months, you get to keep it. And if not, I'm taking it back. I'm getting my money back.
Wow.
I said, he dapped on it. And I was like, yo, any instrument I want. So as a kid, I'm thinking, well, if I get a saxophone, first I thought trumpet.
Right.
My pops played a little bit of trumpet, but it wasn't like high level professional trumpet. But he played. He definitely played. I was like, yeah, but it's small and it's only got 3 valves. And then I said, well, if I get a saxophone, it's big and it's made out of silver and gold, which means that he probably spent like real money to get it. I'm gonna get a saxophone. Right. So I got the saxophone because I thought it was a come up. I thought I hit a lick. And he sat down and showed me my first scale, alto saxophone. He showed me a C scale, and I took over from there. And within like my first year, I started playing professionally, and I never looked back. So I would say I've been professional for real since I was 14. Like. Touring and all that, doing records, flying back and forth to Miami and
amazing,
Detroit, and like all this stuff. And then I got locked in with the Clark sisters and Kiera Shear around that same time, and we started working on Kiera's first albums. Okay. So I've been working with them. So the 3 Grammy nominations that I have are from projects that I've collaborated with them from 2010 up till now.
Wow.
So that's 15 years of collaborative effort with them.
Amazing. Just amazing. Gosh, you have such a wonderful journey, and you got to come back to the show because this show could be like literally like 2 hours. Because we got to bring you back for part 2 because
let me come to the studio if it's like an in studio thing. Let's do that on the next one, and we can do a follow up. And on this one, I'll make sure I have Volume 1, Urban Art Orchestra Volume 1 for you. We can talk about the records.
Yeah,
I'll make sure you get your hoodie before that.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah, because, like I said, I'm so glad that I met you last year at Cranbrook Christchurch. Like I said, all of my colleagues have heard of you, but I've never heard of you before. And like I said, I was just blown away. And I'm like, where have I been? what rock I've been hiding under? And I've been following you ever since. Yeah, ever since. Everyone, Deshaun Jones, man, yes, just amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, where can they? Now, I know you got a concert coming. we talked about off the air. So you got a concert coming. Tell everyone about that, and then let them know where they can find you on social media and where they can find your music.
Yep. So we'll be at the Hawk on the 22nd of February, just after Valentine's Day. So if you haven't blown all your money on your Valentine, come on over to the Hawk. We're in Farmington Hills. Last time we did the Hawk was with James Brown. It was an amazing concert. It's a beautiful theater. It's phenomenal. And so this is our season opener for 2025. So it will be the first official concert for Urban Art Orchestra, and I would love to see as many beautiful faces in the place for us. We're going to debut some new music. You can follow us on social media, specifically Instagram, at Urban Art Orchestra. So URBANARTORTHESTRA. Urban Art Orchestra. Oh, I have to spell that every day.
Okay. All right.
Now, what if I spelled it wrong? What if?
We'll be mad. Well, they got to hear, right?
And even if I did spell it wrong, it's still Urban Art Orchestra. You want me to tell you something? Did you know that there's an Urban Art Orchestra, a newly formed Urban Art Orchestra in Germany? Did you know that?
No, get out of here. No, who did that?
Urban Art Orchestra Frankfurt. So now I got to talk to them. Like, come on, man.
Right. And for one,
Detroit must be doing something.
Exactly.
Detroit must be doing something. And
you're doing something right.
See?
You're doing something right.
You're going to have to talk to them and be like, hey, man, I love what y'all doing, but y'all might need to change that name up a little bit.
That's right.
Detroit. And but anyway, I love everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much thank you so much for tuning in to the Artist Showcase. Of course, I love when you guys tune in. I didn't get a chance to look at any questions or anything. I don't think anyone put anything up. I don't see anything on
Facebook. For questions?
I got about three. I probably got about 3, let's say 2 minutes for questions. Right. Anyone out there who are looking at YouTube or Facebook, if there's a question really quick, I just only probably got just time for one question. Please post it in the comments, and I'll gladly go ahead and ask them. But other than that, this is Deshaun Jones from Detroit of Urban Art Orchestra. Please be sure that you follow him. Make sure that you get his music. He is phenomenal. Be sure that you go to that concert. What date was that again?
February 22nd.
Yes, be sure. And that's at the Hawk.
That's right. 2 shows, 7:30 and 9. Those are the 2 shows.
Oh, 2 shows. Oh, good. Maybe I may have to make the last one. For sure.
Pull up. We got a ticket for you.
Yes. So
if somebody tunes in, I got 2 tickets, 2 free tickets.
Oh, you better hurry up.
So they better say something. They better say Urban Art Orchestra, all caps with giraffes or something. Do something.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Thank you all for tuning in to the Artist Showcase. Deshaun, thank you so much for coming. We're definitely going to do a part 2 very, very soon. Wish we can have you on a little bit longer, but yeah, we're definitely going to do a part 2. We got so much more to cover, and I do want to cover that. So you're always welcome to come on to the show. Thank you so much. And everyone and everyone out there, I will see you all on next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you, Deshaun.
Much love. I'll see you on the 22nd.